Alright, so the NFL season? Yeah, that's over. But believe me, the real game is just getting started. We are staring down what could be one of the wildest off-seasons we've seen in a long, long time. I'm talking franchise cornerstones, superstars. They could all be in new uniforms come September. This is the great shakeup, folks.
And you know what that means, right? It all boils down to one massive question that every single front office, every fan base is asking right now. Who stays and who goes? Think of it like a giant game of musical chairs, but for the entire league. And when that music stops, the NFL could look completely, totally different. So let's get into it. Okay, first up, let's head to Las Vegas. We've got to talk about the heart and soul of that Raiders defense, Maxx Crosby. And look, this is so much more than just a contract thing. It's emotional. You got a guy who literally bleeds silver and black, pitted against a team that might be about to hit the big red reset button and tear the whole thing down.
And the interest in him, it's staggering. Get this, sources around the league are saying that nearly 2/3 of the entire NFL, we're talking at least 20 teams, have already kind of quietly asked about a trade for Crosby. The line to get the Raiders on the phone is already forming, and trust me, it is long.
So this puts the Raiders in just an impossible spot, right? On one side, you have Maxx Crosby, the guy who is the Raiders. He's the living, breathing identity of that team, a Raider for life. But on the other side, you've got a new coach and a new GM looking at a full-blown rebuild. And you know what a rebuild needs? A ton of draft picks, the exact thing you'd get by trading Crosby.
And here's the thing, you got to understand this. Crosby isn't just an asset. He is, you could argue, the only truly valuable asset on that entire defense. So yeah, trading him gets you that treasure chest of draft picks you desperately need to start over. But it also means you're trading away the one guy who stands for everything you're trying to build. What a choice.
Okay, so the drama with Crosby isn't happening in a vacuum. This is a league-wide thing right now. Let's zoom out a bit, because from Philly to Dallas, you've got other unhappy superstars who are forcing their teams to make these huge, potentially franchise-changing decisions.
Man, this quote just nails the whole A.J. Brown situation in Philly. This wasn't some behind-the-scenes rumor, you know? We all saw it. The frustration was right there on the sideline for everyone to see. The body language, the heated moments. Something is just off. And the feeling around the league is that, yeah, something's got to give.
So if you're the Eagles, what do? I mean, trading a top 5 receiver in the league sounds absolutely nuts. I get it. But there actually is a path that makes sense. You could listen to offers, get a massive haul of draft picks in return, and then just build your offense around Devontae Smith and the other guys. It's a tough pill to swallow for sure, but it might just be the clean break that both the team and the player really need.
And while things are getting tense in Philly, let's jump over to their biggest rival, Dallas, because a very similar situation is brewing there. The Cowboys have a gigantic decision to make with their own star receiver, CeeDee Lamb. And it all comes down to that dreaded franchise tag. $28 million. That's the projected number for a one-year deal if the Cowboys slap the franchise tag on CeeDee Lamb. Now that's a ton of cash, no doubt. But it's not the long-term deal, the security that a player of his caliber wants and deserves. And that, my friends, is where the trouble starts. And let's be real, that's the bottom line here. He and his agent are not going to be happy with that tag. He's not just going to smile and sign on the dotted line. This thing could get tricky and fast. It could easily turn into a holdout, a messy public fight, and it's already got people around the league whispering that huge question. Would the Cowboys, could they, actually trade him? But you know what? All of this drama with the receivers, it's big, but it kind of pales in comparison to what's happening at the most important position in all of sports. We've got a bunch of teams at a major quarterback crossroads facing questions that are going to define legacies for years to come.
Think about this. After that epic collapse the Eagles had, and with the brand new coaching staff on offense, is Jalen Hurts' job completely secure? That question isn't crazy anymore. In fact, some insiders are saying the Eagles might even draft a QB on day 2, just to, apply a little pressure. Jalen Hurts is officially at a crossroads.
And this is really just a snapshot of the chaos all over the league. You've got Hurts in Philly, who absolutely has to bounce back. Then there's Kyler Murray out in Arizona, with those same old questions about his leadership just hanging in the air. You've got the legend, Aaron Rodgers, who's got to decide if he's got one more run in him at age 42. And don't forget Daniel Jones in New York. The talent is there, but man, he has got to prove he can protect himself and play smarter.
Yeah, the whole Kyler Murray thing is just so fascinating because it's this classic battle, right? The talent is off the charts. Nobody questions that. We've all seen him do things with his arm and his legs that are just special. But the questions that just won't go away are about the stuff we don't see. The leadership behind closed doors, the day in, day out consistency. That's what makes his future in Arizona such a huge question mark.
Okay, now here's a real wild card. I don't think anybody saw this one coming. There's this wild rumor floating around that there might be mutual interest between Aaron Rodgers and Pittsburgh. A source says he felt rejuvenated there. And you know, the Steelers are kinda in bridge mode at QB. They need a veteran. So, a reunion? It seems to be on the table at least.
So let's recap. We've got unhappy star receivers, we've got tense contract standoffs, and we've got a giant game of quarterback musical chairs that's about to start. The entire league is just on edge, kind of holding its breath, waiting to see who's going to make the first move. The only question is, which domino is going to fall first?
So if you put all these pieces together, what do you get? You've got star players who are actually available, you've got contract situations that are about to boil over, and the quarterback market is just pure chaos. Seriously, all it's going to take is one move, one single trade to set off a chain reaction that could totally reshape the league.
And that brings us to the final thought here. Think about the stakes. A Maxx Crosby trade? That could instantly give a contender that elite pass rusher they need to get over the top. A.J. Brown on the move? That could completely shift the balance of power in an entire conference. And a big-name quarterback changing teams? That could change the Super Bowl odds overnight. So as you watch all this drama unfold, the real question you should be asking yourself is, which one of these moves is going to be the one that changes everything?